The Rutterkin. This simple creature hunts in every layer of the abyss, seeking to protect its master's domain from intruders. A simple shriek can root you in place. Luckily, they're easy to kill.
What's that sound?
Rutterkin are known to travel in swarms numbering up to 10,000. Don't ask me how I know.
Should we be concerned about how close they're getting?
Despite their tendency to swarm, Rutterkin live to serve two purposes. Run!
Welcome back to the Compendium of Monsters. It's Rutterkin week. Before we continue, tap that subscribe button and get in your survival bunker. The Horde approaches! Rutterkin are challenge level 2, and there's good reason to be afraid of them. These medium demons have an armor class of 12, average hit points of 27, a speed of 20 feet, and dark vision out to 120 feet. While Rutterkin can understand the native language of their home plane, they can't speak. Their mouth appears to be able to make noise, but abyssal is just out of their reach. In case you haven't heard abyssal, it's the language of guttural roars and shrieks. A creature that can roar and shriek can't speak the language of guttural roars and shrieks. Yikes. As is typical for demons, Rutterkin resist cold damage, fire damage, and lightning damage. They are immune to poison damage and the following conditions: charmed, frightened, and poisoned. You know, whenever creatures look horrifying, they're typically immune to charm and fear effects. It's almost as if they own a mirror. A Rutterkin's only ability is Crippling Fear. When a creature who isn't a demon starts its turn within 30 feet of 3 or more Rutterkin, the creature is forced to make a wisdom saving throw. If there are 6 Rutterkin within 30 feet of that creature, the save is made with disadvantage. I mean, I suppose this is one of the more aptly named abilities. If I was confronted with 6 Rutterkin, I'd be pissing myself too. If a creature succeeds on its saving throw, it is immune to the Crippling Fear of all Rutterkin for 24 hours. Not bad! If a creature fails, well, rough. The consequences involve a frightened condition for 1 minute, and the creature becomes restrained so long as it is frightened. A restrained creature has a movement speed of 0 feet, makes attacks with disadvantage, and enemies have advantage to attack that creature. Creatures immune to fear are not affected by Crippling Fear, or if a creature automatically saves thanks to a paladin's aura of courage or a similar effect, they are technically immune as well. For their only attack, Rutterkin can make a single bite. It doesn't sound like much, especially with its average of 12 piercing damage, but there's an additional effect that both slows down combat and can have very deadly results. On a successful hit, a Rutterkin's bite forces its target to make a Constitution saving throw against disease. There is no period of immunity following a success, but failure causes a creature to become poisoned. In addition to disadvantage to attack rolls and ability checks, the poison creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each long rest. Should a creature reach 0 hit points while poisoned this way, it dies without the ability to make death saving throws, and its corpse immediately transforms into an abyssal wretch. Once this transformation occurs, the creature can only have its body restored by means of a wish spell or by divine intervention. Good luck with the latter, and the former is a bit pricey. Luckily, the lesser restoration spell is a great way to keep your body from becoming a servant of the abyss.
The Rutterkin, a breed of warped demon, roams the abyss in mobs that constantly search for intruders to surround and devour.
Warped demon as opposed to what? Unwarped? Have you ever seen a demon before? Trust me, they're not competing at beauty pageants anytime soon. Though an abyss-centered beauty pageant is a very interesting thought.
Rutterkin protect the abyss from non-demons. When they spot any interlopers, they gather in a crowd and surge forward, emitting a wave of fear in advance of their attacks that leaves their victims terrified and rooted in place.
Have you ever seen a horde of shrieking entities surge forward at roughly 2 miles an hour? No, because you would get the f*** out of Dodge if you ever did.
Creatures bitten by Rutterkin are exposed to a terrible disease that infects them with the corrupting influence of the abyss. Victims that succumb to the disease experience tremendous pain as their bodies become disfigured, flesh twisting around the bones until they transform to join the mass of abyssal wretches that follow in the wake of the Rutterkin mob that laid them low.
How can the transformation be painful when the creature dies before it occurs? Did you even read how a creature transforms into an abyssal wretch? What am I saying? Of course they didn't! Rutterkin are the demon's equivalent of a Hellfire engine. If you've seen my video on Hellfire engines, you know creatures killed by one of their actions have their souls shunted into the river Styx, where they rise as Lemuries to serve the 9 hells. Abyssal wretches are the Abyss's response to Lemuries, and Abyssal wretches can be promoted into other demons either by demon lords or by murdering enough of its fellow demons. The power structure of the 9 hells is incredibly regimented, whereas the power structure of the Abyss is almost completely fluid. It's fucking wild. If you'd like to have a Rutterkin appear in a more sinister way, I have a suggestion for a one-shot for first-level characters. Your party goes to stay overnight in a village, where, every so often, one of the inhabitants disappears and a weird, hostile creature appears in their place. Maybe your party arrives during a Halloween festival, or something fun. Maybe it's Springoween or Summerween if your season is off. Who doesn't like spooky, scary celebrations? Upon investigating these disappearances, your player's characters learn that this has been happening for a while, and that around half the houses in the village have the strange replacement creatures occupying them. Naturally, the investigation leads to a house and a fight with one abyssal wretch. The creature is clearly not from the material plane, but your player's characters likely have no idea what they're dealing with. One of the next logical steps is they'll make a medicine check, then you can give them a red herring by highlighting the necrotized bite tissue somewhere on their bodies. Lycanthropes? Seems possible, but a new, deformed lycanthrope? Strange. As your party follows the trail of attacks back to the first one, they notice that the graveyard is nearest to the first victim. After asking around, the innkeeper reveals that there are ancient catacombs that run deep under the graveyard. Your players and their characters make preparations and head beneath the surface. After winding through an ominous dungeon to the tune of your favorite Halloween music, they are suddenly ambushed by a pair of abyssal wretches. The party most likely defeats the wretches and continues deeper. Maybe they get a nice chest of loot or are attacked by a skeleton. I'd suggest a mimic, but that's a bit too much without a long rest. Finally, the party arrives at the depths of the catacombs to discover a portal to the abyss. It's small, but they can hear all kinds of guttural screeching on the other side. Describe a clearly visible magic effect linking the Rutterkin and the portal as a hint that the two are connected. Or maybe don't be as obvious as I am, but make it apparent. The Rutterkin's goal is to bite any and all player characters who engage it in melee combat. If no one is willing to engage it, have it bite whoever. If your players are familiar with Rutterkin bites, they won't worry too much because they won't suspect the twist you've planned. The bite can transform a creature that either reaches 0 hit points or does not cure the disease within a short period of time. Don't have your players' characters transform during the fight, but describe the constant, overwhelming feeling of weakness as the character's flesh begins to twist and distort. Assuming your players' characters win the fight, the way to close the abyssal portal is to throw the Rutterkin's body through it. Once the battle is over, there is a scroll of lesser restoration in one corner of the boss room. Your players' characters definitely didn't notice it at first, but it was absolutely there, wasn't it? If there are 2 or more infected player characters, they get to decide who lives and who dies. Maybe they'll come up with an original solution to the portal problem. If they do, go with it. Maybe an infected player character chooses to sacrifice themselves for the greater good and dramatically hurls their body through the portal. Sounds pretty awesome. Anyways, what do you think of Rutterkin? Let me know in the comments below. A special thank you to my incredible patrons. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you next time.